Hello, everybody. Welcome to the semifinals of the Season 27 tournament. The second of two semifinals matches, that is. This one's between Increase and Strength Power DX. A very exciting match. In the comms booth today, we got Coevil and Oa, who has ran off to get some water, because we're in for a long one, most likely. After all, it is best of three. But anyways, Coevil, how are you doing this afternoon?
Doing pretty great. Thanks for having me on today, man. Really stoked to yeah, dive into this matchup between Increase and Strength Power DX. Two very strong players. Takes a lot of work to get to this point in the tournament. How are you feeling about the matchup, Inc?
It'll be really interesting. Of course, DX is the record tournament champion out of between all the tournaments. Some of them were from LTS as well, though, to be fair, but also some from HTS. And Increase is more of a up-and-coming rising star of sorts, I'd say. I'd probably put him in that category of players. So it's something of a rising star versus an OG veteran. It'll be really exciting to see, that dynamic play out.
Yeah, for sure. Increase definitely newer to the tournament scene, but I think particularly his HTS prowess is quite not in doubt. So he definitely is a strong player in his own right. And yeah, it looks like they're about to get the lobby started here. It'll be interesting to see what book choices and what kind of matchup we get. We know DX likes his standard list book that he's been running basically until he loses, it seems like. And so he probably has a couple of books in his back pocket if needed, but we'll likely see him run with the flightless and Increase. You never know. He does enjoy generic, but he also is somewhat versatile from what I've seen.
Anyways,
Yes.
now that Oa's back, Oa, how are you doing this afternoon? And your thoughts on the matchup?
I'm doing great, man. Thanks for asking. This is probably my most. I think is one of the most, if not the most exciting matchups of the entire event. Increase is just he's lethal, man. And they played 60G not that long ago, and Increase and DX were about going 50-50 with each other when they were playing 60G. So this is just very exciting. DX, one of the best, if not the best, tournament performance players of all time. That one of the things he has going for him that I think Increase, may struggle a little bit with here is DX is very used to the spotlight, and that really does matter in these situations. Being able to stay cool, calm, and collected, not let the viewers, affect you, not letting the tournament performance affect you. That's all stuff that really does come into play, especially when the tournament gets to these later stages. So hopefully Increase, doesn't let it bother him too much, because I'm very interested in seeing how he tackles this. I'm interested to see how DX. I do think Queevil's probably right. DX is probably going to keep going with his book he normally does, but DX is, he's known to counter book, so we'll see.
Yeah, it can be a bit hard to predict too if you have if you're going against a player who's more versatile book-wise. It's a little bit of a roller coaster trying to figure out what book do I run. Am I going to get the advantage in changing up my book for this certain matchup, or are they going to mix things up and then I ended up booking for the wrong thing? So it's a little bit of a mind game. I find it to be pretty difficult at times to, get the book advantage on certain opponents.
Increase is certainly more used to, I would say, he's more, or I guess maybe not used to, but he's definitely more known for his generic gameplay than anything. He's very, very proficient with SS generic. And I know the DX book has had very good success against generic players over the course of the tournament from multiple people that have used it. So I guess we'll see if Increase is thinking that he can just outplay him, or if DX is just thinking maybe there's no need to counterbook because it's been doing so well and there's a good chance the Increase does generic anyway. It's just definitely an interesting one. Especially, one of the things that increases so good with, probably better than anyone else in the game, is his flash proficiency. He's just so lethal, and as we saw versus pros left one tiny opening, and Increase jumped on it and flashed him off at a very odd angle, and it completely shifted the game in Increase's favor. So if
Yeah.
that's something that DX got to watch out for. And DX is his big thing, that every single kill that he's had so far, we've seen him ladder his DK. His opponents don't respect how quickly he can get his DK across the map. So
Yep. And you've mentioned on past commentaries too, the style of DX to be, like rush, but not in the sort of typical way that you might think of rush, like just throw shock bombs and lob stuff. But he likes to bring the DK out early, and also his book has Mega Boulder, so he's wanting to push hard and just capitalize on his early, superior early game, and just in the grand scheme of things, he understands the macro element of the game stronger than probably all players, if not many players, so we'll see if he's able to kind of get that early advantage. The early DK can be pretty catastrophic if he's getting that off.
absolutely, yep, he loves doing that because, I mean, like we saw versus Machine, he got that DK out, and he spent several turns just charging it. That's all he did, charge it to get it out in the open, charge it to get it down to him. And in Machine, he's a very, very solid player, and he still couldn't beat the pressure that DK was bringing. So I think Increase is probably, he's probably been preparing for this one mentally, for a very long time. So, and I'm sure DX is, he doesn't really, I mean, he does a lot of prep, but he has so much experience underneath his belt, he doesn't really have to do too much of it anymore. So this is one of the matchups I was really, really looking forward to. So I'm excited to see this one shake up.
Yeah, for sure. What do you think they're thinking about right now as they're just sitting in the lobby? One of them's waiting to ready up probably, or maybe they're both still building.
Well, I think Increase is probably, I mean, this is like one of the most exciting aspects of the game right here, and they're probably feeling a lot of pressure, and I'm sure you felt it too when you get in this, when you're in the tournament lobby and you know that the other person is probably building, and they're probably you have the pressure of, do I go with my normal book, or do I counter, or do I change something up? Because we play a game where one spell choice instead of another can give you a massive advantage, right? So there's a lot of pressure here to make the right choices. So a lot of times it leads to people just going into the middle and just playing something generic because, does the best against the most archetypes. But I'm sure Increase and DX are feeling the same amount of pressure. Okay, so Increase got the first turn, but this is not a great spawn if he's not flighted.
Yeah, it's all right, but not ideal.
This is a wide open center for DX.
Yeah, it does suck that DX has immediate access to that center and Increase doesn't. So
If he's not flighted, I think there's a okay. I think there was merit to leaping over and flashing him and just taking control of the center to avoid, your getting pocket sanded or something along those lines.
right, potentially. I also think that this is probably fine to just develop a minion on the left, because DX has to put himself in somewhat of a compromising position to deal with the drone. And so maybe Increase can capitalize on that. We'll have to wait and see. But as I'm mentioning that, you see how he has to put himself up on that flag. Not necessarily the spot that he wants to be, right? So we'll have to see what he chooses to do. There's many different options. Probably only a few that are really good, though. Because if you mud Increase, then the drone is free. If you mud the drone, then Increase is free. So he's trying to come up with a different move that, okay, a bit more passive. He chooses to just tower turn 1. A very underrated move, I think. What do you think about that T1 move?
Well, I think it's good in the sense that it accomplishes multiple things here. Now, Increase can jump over. He can use the drone to jump over him, but the drone is trapped on the left side still. So if Increase doesn't have Pebbles, which he probably doesn't, really, there's only a couple of people who actually take it. But I mean, it's just a good move to keep his drone trapped on the left side, and just he has access to the right side of the map here. So if Increase wants to set up, he has a bit of a tempo play because he's not there's very low risk since he's in the tower, and Increase he's not gonna just drone strike him. So he has the choice on whether or not he wants to leave. And oh no, he actually could fit it through. I didn't think he could fit it through. In that
2
case,
seconds. Oh, phew.
I don't know. I don't know if I like the tower move at all. Then I think his whole plan was to trap the drone. And so
Yeah, but look at the positioning of the drone, though. It's not ideal. It's like right in DX's face.
well, I don't know. If it can go left through? I don't know if it can go left through, because I know sometimes you can go right and not go left. If it can go left through there, then DX can't really summon anything here, because it'll just get droned down.
Looks wide enough. I was thinking he could lob a pocket sand, but he chose to not do that.
Yeah, true. He could. He does love doing that.
Yeah, okay, this is a good move. I think slight misplay from Increase. Just keep the drone way down on the bottom left. It's unkillable and in a, precarious spot for DX.
Sure. Yeah, I completely agree. There's probably a time thing. He did have 2 seconds left because he just wasn't really thinking about it. But you're completely right, because DX won't ice shield it if you get it underneath that cloud on the bottom.
Yeah, and in addition, it's also subtle where Increase positions himself. Like, these are really subtle things that you have to keep in mind. When he towers out, he's not free. But if he goes in a different area on a cloud that, like maybe the bottom cloud, I don't know if he has flight or not, so maybe going all the way to the bottom isn't great. And that's why BFTP's there, because he needs to tower out and be free. But unfortunately, he had to use one.
So there's we got some theories going on about DX's outfit, because apparently that's what Increase's alt account uses. So maybe he's throwing a little bit of psychological warfare in, dressing like him. I know Nev has been prone to do that in the past, to throw a little bit of
I see.
Yeah,
I see.
shake it up a little bit, which I like, a little bit of flair.
That's funny. Yeah. Okay, so DX has accomplished his goal, which is to deal with the drone in the early game. And Increase also accomplished his goal, which was to get mid back. But this was the line that I was seeing. I didn't mention it, but because of where Increase positioned himself, this is easily treeable. And of course, Increase can just free himself easily. But
I don't know if I mind just mud or flashing out.
Yeah, that makes sense.
The only thing that he might respond with is a mud ball, because as DX book, the book that he's been taken does have Mega Boulder, right? So being able to mud ball here again and threaten Mega Boulder on the next flash is potentially something, but and he might, yeah. That's the only thing that really, the only downside to it is him having Mega.
Right. And using those muds early can be, beneficial to Increase in the long game, of course.
Oh, 100%, yeah. You're really committing to the game plan if you mud ball here.
But I wouldn't call it not worth it. I would say, well, you have the muds, you got to use them. Okay, he goes for a Pegasus. We won't mention a potential move that a lot of us are probably thinking that he could maybe go for, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a little bit difficult. We'll see. I'm interested to see what Increase does here. There are a few options to go for aggro, or just summon a minion, like a swarm or something. But we don't know, is he flightless or does he have flight? And so
Yep. I mean, I think that move that you're referring to, I think that he would snap it off and instantly go for it if he had flight. The fact that he's, deciding makes me think he doesn't have flight.
Right. And maybe he just wants to go for a minion summon then. In this instance.
He could also, if he has Mud Ball, he could also trap the Pegasus, but I don't think he probably does.
Yeah, I
Increase
think-
is known to take Mega Boulder in his books because he really likes it. So, but we'll see.
Right. It's interesting to think about how to control that development of the minion, and I think Tree was one of the only ways to limit the movement of the peg there.
Yeah, that was a good tree for sure. The peg really only has 2 places it can go now. It can't get over to the right side, and it can't get left. It can only go up, down. And then the Armageddon, when it eventually starts, getting in, it's gonna start freeing and hitting the peg.
Yeah. So we're seeing potentially Flightless SS, which Increase actually ran against pros. So that's a bit of a unique book. Okay, DX going to be able to get a free swarm out. And the tree has just been used to, control the movement of the peg. So, map-wise, DX is in a superior position now, I think because of the early positioning of the Storm Shield, where he Storm Shielded.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
It's hard to think of all the moving variables, especially in the early game. As far as positioning and BFTP usage and all that stuff.
Yeah,
Tricky.
so, this is a spot that really only happens because DX was, Increase got that first turn, but DX was able to trap his minion with a tempo because Ice Shield. So if he put it down lower, this position is completely changed. But
Well,
DX was kind of able to steal the lead here because Increase has been forced to respond to DX's moves.
yeah, so just dive into like an alternate reality with me for a second. Let's say that he is able to get his drone on the left, bury it down on the left side, and, DX is flightless, so he definitely doesn't want to go down there. And potentially he has to go down there to pocket sand it and then summon a minion to ladder himself back up, or tree off that side to prevent the drone from coming to the mid. So he has to use some of his resources in a different way. Maybe he doesn't have that tree to trap Increase because he has to use it to trap the drone.
Oh, I completely agree with you, yeah.
Yeah.
It definitely changes the whole dynamic.
Yeah, whole game is different.
I
In that
think
situation.
Increase probably just didn't think his drone could fit through until the last second when he tried it. So, I mean, it's understandable. He's definitely got to free himself here. I mean, DX has got the full map to work with here and set up however he wants.
Granted, DX also can't kill his minions, at least very easily. So that having that free totem is fantastic for Increase. So long as DX can't kill it this turn, which I'm not sure he prevented it. We'll see.
One of the things I would be looking out for if I were Increase is really paying attention to Mega Boulder. DX he is very, very happy to get a couple minions out and then Mega Boulder, your Pegasus, and maybe kill one other minion and just reset your tempo or reset your minions down to 0. I mean, it's just he's done it time and time again. So that's one of the things I'd be worried about. Where you end your turn with the Pegasus, you got to be thinking about it at all times.
Yeah. Oh, the drone barely doesn't fit. You might think that he would be able to drone strike that. It has a bit of a wide hitbox, or whatever you want to call it, but he might actually TK the drone if he tried to starbolt through there, which is fortunate for Increase. Okay, using Aura just to get some chip damage off on all of Increase's minions. And okay, he's able to free the totem, continue to dig out, and potentially reposition his peg in a little bit of a better spot to, make sure the totem doesn't die on the following turn.
At this point, he he can't really afford to to open it up because then his totem dies. Once he's done with that totem, he had to play in this closed area, otherwise the drone gets to get in for free and kill it.
Yeah, he needs to be committed to the stall a bit here. Several moves are possible, but flashing out is probably not one of them. He's probably thinking about Shock Shield, but then he's going to continue to take aura damage. Okay, yeah, I was wondering about a minion summon, but didn't exactly know all of his cooldowns. So, yeah, they're going to take a couple of ticks from the aura, but Increase is a bit stuck, so he just has to kind of deal with it here.
I wonder if he could have summoned the drone out of the aura. I think it was possible to do that.
Potentially, yeah. And unfortunately, that Swarm Tick dropped the tree.
Yep.
And now he's going to get a double. Easiest double in his life. I don't think it dropped the tree last turn, the aura. I'm wondering why that was. I'm not 100% certain. But it drops the aura with the swarm. And he's able to secure a minion advantage. A very decisive one at that, because being up a swarm on your opponent is huge.
And he's in the driver's seat now for sure, yeah.
Yeah, far from over. I don't think Increase has anything to kill the drone. Potentially he could have Spear, but I don't think that was in his flight list book previously. Yep, Mudball was a move that I thought is good here because it traps both minions. And just kind of, you know, gives them time. It says, okay, DX, you've got a lot of minions, but if I can keep them trapped, you don't really have them. So I can just continue to stall.
That was a great Mudball. Great sandbagging it up to this point. You know, I suspected that he didn't have flight and maybe he had Mega Boulder. However, I think that when he initially jumped over, and there's the early DK that we were just talking about, right?
Yep, 100%. And this is going to apply a ridiculous amount of pressure to Increase now. And becomes difficult, I think. What landed DX to be able to...
here, yeah.
Yeah, what landed him to pull that out is exactly what you just said. Having map control early, which I won't harp on it too much, but just that one positioning where he just took a little bit too much time for the drone summon. Or not drone summon, but post-drone. You know, he's casting that SS and just had a little bit of a subpar positioning. He was even able to recover with the BFTP and then tower out, but then he got treed. So it's even tricky to think about, like, where could he have positioned instead, you know? Maybe on, like, that small cloud would be a possibility. It's really not treeable if he towers out of a mud from that small cloud next to the tree in mid. But yeah, just brainstorming.
Going back to turn 1 here, given that he has Mudball, I think the Increase, he should have just when he jumped over with drone and he got the drone over, he should have just Mudballed DX and kept, because it would have trapped him and DX would have been forced to flash out. And if he has Mega Boulder, SS Mega Boulder, he could completely enact a different game plan and start rushing him down with a book like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Mudball definitely an option. And worth noting, up to this point, DX hasn't used any BFDPs. Increase has just used one. And they both have 3 muds, I believe, at this point. I made it an effort or a focus of one of these casts because I was on stream and I've been doing commentaries and I'm like, I've got no idea what BFTPs, like how many do they have? I don't know. You know, don't ask me. So I was trying to track it better this time around. Hopefully can help viewers a bit. But we're going to see, yeah, DX's anti-stall come into play here. The aura is, you know, really working to just tick his drone, tick his swarms, prevent some of those summons.
That's tough here. He's gonna eat a whole charge.
Oh no, easy. Yep. DX immediately seeing it and just had to be aware of his positioning there and the tower health as well. So potentially just had to D-tower, scoot over, and then summon the totem. And it would have been okay.
And with DX's book, this is very, very scary
Ooh.
here, because he has Mega Boulder to follow it up. So you can't just easily just kill the DK or trap the DK, because he could follow it up with Mega Boulder, and he still has kill pressure.
Yep, already lethal. And I think we both kind of predicted the lethality of the early DK. And it does come down to map control. Just very subtle, small ways that you can pressure your opponent to gain the mid-map control.
What is he doing here?
Probably
is he ice shielding?
angling
Yeah,
for an ice shield. Yeah.
Yeah. Fair enough.
But he can't really go anywhere.
His tower should be up.
Right.
Because it just got killed with the aura, right? So it was probably up last turn. He could have detowered and retowered in a better position.
Right. Okay, so both of them are down to 3 ice shields as well. Although I don't think at this point this will go too far into the late game.
Yeah, as Pimp said, that's true. That's a great boulder. It kills his Pegasus and kills his tower.
Yeah, potential move there. And I don't know if it could kill his tower. Potentially it just all absorbs into the Pegasus.
It's a hard angle. You gotta hit like the right side of the flag, so where the AoE just touches the peg, right? And then it just. But that's a good move too.
Yep. Yeah, you were thinking like, okay, right side of the flag, maybe it expands twice, hits the peg, and then opens up some of the space and also hits this tower, and the next 2 ticks kill the peg. That'd be disgusting. But he goes for the safer play, which makes sense. I mean, he's up a DK, he's up a Swarm, he's up full Mega in worth of health. So
we have a Drain coming out here. Or a Mud Ball.
Yeah, he has to do something to just...
I kind of like the idea of Drain. Get yourself out of Mega Boulder range so you're not being pressured like this too hard.
Right. Looks like maybe he's going for a Mud Ball instead. Oh, okay.
Ooh, okay. Chooses
to kill and free the drone, which I think is a solid play.
That's great, being cognizant of the great lateral thinking.
Oh yeah, the
I know
positioning.
that's me. I'm just forgetting that drone even exists.
Right, and we know the actually we might not know, but one reason that he kept the drone alive, DX that is that it's trapped, and so it's like, okay, increase is basically down a minion. So that's why he kept it alive, just to have increase be struggling with the dead slot. Basically, he has a 3 minion max then, but now it's free. So nicely done by increase there, and DX going for the quad aura. I don't know if that is moving any mountains necessarily. I think it's, it's not a poor move, but he does position the peg well so that increase can't get out. So that is nice. Where do you put the totem here if you're increase? Any ideas? I'm not so sure.
I mean, it doesn't really have a single option that feels that good because of the Armageddon coming in. Yeah, freeing the Pegasus is probably the only thing, but hoping that the Armageddon frees the right side of the cloud so it can just move down.
Yeah.
Which sure. I think it will. That
it
first
will for
one.
sure.
And it gives you it's done on tempo too, potentially here, because I think if DX's Arma doesn't free it, yeah, okay. Well, so now I don't think it does, because it's still gonna get caught on that lip.
Yeah, it does look like that. Okay, he's trying to free himself out of the mud, which is a common strategy. Sometimes you can use a BFTP to get out. He also has leap. Which one is he going to choose to do? Okay, now he's going to go for a potentially aggro play here. I don't know. Or maybe he will try to free the DK. Yeah, doesn't need his leap. He's going to ladder the DK up. It's looked like he's cooking that. He's going to almost get there. He'll position himself subtly a bit here and get it up. And
He's gonna kill the tower and both minions, or is he just gonna drain here?
Drain Bolt, it looks like, yeah.
Yeah.
Although maybe he doesn't want to kill his peg. Okay, he's gonna kill the drone. Yeah, I think that's a solid play. Because if he triples, he loses his peg, and then the DK threat becomes pretty much nullified at this point. So I think killing the drone is a great play here, actually. Because of the potential for doubles, and also DX loves swarms, as many of us do in 60s. And so when you're going to bring out a free swarm, you have to suddenly worry about drone. How am I going to deal with drone? If the drone's up, it's just, pointless to summon a swarm. Okay, doesn't give increase the double, and he does remember that he's got 15 health left on the tower.
You don't mind that move at all. It stops. Yeah, I don't mind that move at all. As long as increase, he just has to get out and hole himself in. He still has tree up, right? So.
Yep, it's quite solid, and something to note here as well. DX, if he hasn't made changes to his book, which is highly likely, doesn't have totem. So, potentially not trapped here.
He can actually get on the mud and Mega Boulder down, hitting DX, putting him in lethal, killing the swarm, and stopping a ladder. Or if he BFTPs it down, he can Mega Boulder all three, and then he's in the driver's seat.
Yeah, BFTP is an option, but okay, didn't quite get it, but that's a tough spot, because then if he moves himself down, he's still screwed because he's not in a position to lob a Mega Boulder. He's on top of DX.
True. Yeah. If that BFTP ended up actually getting the DK down, that was a complete turning point for increase. But
I think he had just a little bit more space to move right with the tower. I could be wrong, but
he's
someone
probably
go back.
Probably gonna tree here. He needs to. Yeah.
Yep, solid tree. And once again, I will mention, DX doesn't have totem, so his primary mode of digging out is actually tower to provide an avenue for his swarms to get through, for him to get through, for maybe his DK. Okay, he's actually going for the win here, it looks like, with some laddering. And as we've mentioned that many times, this is one way that DX gets early wins and pressures, potentially hitting the edge. He knows this, so he's going to be careful. Okay, nicely done. And all right, that'll be GG.
That's the first one down.
That'll be GG. 1-0 for DX. Nice laddering by him. And this is why he gets the early DK out, because it all of a sudden puts you in a spot where you have to consider all these different moving parts. And that was a pretty clean win.
Very
for
good
DX.
ladder. As I said at the beginning, right? I said DX, he gets every win so far this tournament for the most part.
Right.
People just don't think he can get his DK over in time, and he's done it a million times. So he's just too good at it. He's too practiced at it.
Yep. And that game didn't go too far into the mid game. We saw him once again running with the early DK and getting that early map control. So yeah, I'd be curious, if I'm increased, what do you kind of learn from this game going into game 2? I'd probably think about map gen, or not map gen, but map control, and just positioning of minions, like positioning that drone lower on the map where he can't get to it to ice shield it and leap out, because that's a trademark in DX's book. a fantastic play to control early game minion play. So here we're going to see generic books. And Increase gets turn 1. They both spawn in the middle, which is interesting.
Yeah, this is a much better spawn for Increase.
Yeah, it doesn't always happen this way to spawn in the middle. And so he's going to go for the turn 1 flash. And DX is probably going to want to spawn in the middle here somewhere. He just has to be aware of his mobility. So, you know, where he spawns, you know, he can't necessarily get up top anymore.
Oh, man. Dude, if I'm Increase here, I am salivating at that DX teleport back in. There's so many chances to just rush him down. But I'm very curious if they changed books here. I think Increase probably just kept the same book and is just gonna try and play better. Taking that charge was tough.
Yep. Taking that charge was easily the game-losing move there. Although, I mean, it did the most damage, but was it necessarily the point where he lost the game? Probably came earlier, like with his positioning.
Yeah.
But
you can't give DX an inch; he'll take it a mile.
Pretty much, yeah. That's a good way to put it. So he's just going to stall, and DX does have leap if he used the same book, which I imagine he did. And so could see a leap play to pressure. He's angling for it right now as we speak, potentially. Or maybe he will just bring out a summon. Drone turn 1 is like pretty great because it you know, threatens to kill swarms and spirits. You know, arcane eggs, even other stuff. Anything 25 health, just immediately kind of
just coming over
nullified.
here and get a sink in the middle potentially.
Oh, he might do the same strategy as last game. Tower off the map. And push Increase to the left side. Once again, getting the map control. Okay, we see the same situation pretty much as last game, where he Increase goes to the kind of side of a tower and gets treed in. Granted, this is not really a...
This is the spot where you want to flash because if DX has Mudball to follow it up, you can
Yeah.
flash him off from almost every position.
Right.
So this is just like a free flashing out of it, but you really do... Man, that's
Swarm.
a risky move here. You really don't want to stay trapped for too long because he's just going to set up.
Swarm is not great, in my opinion. Although... Wait, I might take that back. Because if DX summons a minion, then Increase can follow it up potentially with his own tree, which he knows. So, you know, when you summon a swarm to take a tree and try to, you know, and you don't free yourself, you have to be certain that your opponent's not going to get a pretty decisive advantage in the next few turns while you're trapped.
Absolutely. So
Leaving
like
the swarm alive, ooh.
where my mind goes is the only angle DX has to Mudball. If you flash out, you can extend flash and knock him off. So he can't re-trap you. So that's why I would go to the same flash he just did. Just do it early, because then the only play DX really has is tower. You can't summon a minion because then you can just SS it.
Yeah, the problem for Increase here now is that I think maybe treeing the swarm might have been better to just continue to stall. I'm curious about this ice shield angle. I don't know if it will work to get out of it.
Oh,
I think he's doing that intentionally so that he can move his swarm over in time.
yeah. And it's just high enough to where he can get his tower. Very well done.
Yeah. Interesting, I guess, if DX chooses to Aura, then Increase can get map control back. And so DX was saying, okay, being up a swarm even isn't as good as
Oh wow,
keeping map control.
that's a really clean. He can make it through that? I'm pretty sure. So that's just a very clean BFTP.
Yeah, that was clearing a ton of land. I'd be curious, like, how he even did that. The angle is always kind of tripping me up. There's obvious angles right at the top or the bottom of ice shields. It's easier. On the side, it's much harder. But yeah, Increase needs to leverage his flight advantage here heavily.
Probably gonna get just a tree out to, yeah, so he can
Interesting
start
placement.
to.
Yeah. What do you think about the on the right side instead of the left?
I think he wants just to have access for his swarm. Maybe I don't know if he was seeing aura as a possibility there.
Yeah, slight miscalculation there from Increase or lack of positioning on his end. Just getting double hit. Just small stuff. This is what ends up changing the tide of the game at this top level. So, great tree though to isolate DX from his swarm, and again without totem, it's gonna be tough. Not tough, but it's gonna just take more turns for DX to get that free. Okay, he's gonna bring out a peg. We're gonna see some minion cycling here a bit. You know, we might see peg come out, drone come out, a second swarm when that comes off cooldown. So
Yeah, he's really locked himself in here again though. This is just like last game where he's kind of locked in on the right side, but now he's just on the left side. But he kind of chose this when he didn't flash out though.
right. But I think it's not so dire for Increase to be on the side here. Just
I find
because he
it.
has totem and he also has flight.
Yeah, no, he's actually. I mean, he's doing significantly. This one's a lot closer. I'm wondering if he just decides to just flash out here. Just flash out, and then he can.
I think he
pick with his peg, or he
I
can
think he
summon totem.
has to. I think he has to, Oa, because think about it. When you're playing against DX, you need to guard against early Dark Knight summons, and so he needs to have that in his mind that, you know, the early DK is coming, and if he flashes out, potentially, you know, then DX summons a Dark Knight. He can block it with his peg, summon his own. So there's, you know, several plays that he can.
These border hops are so risky because if Increase has Mega Boulder now, which I presume he probably had last game, he's, I mean, willingly taking HP so you could fit your minions in. I kind of like the idea of switching up your game plan on the fly if you have Mega Boulder plus SS. So.
Right. But here, there's no slots for it, I would guess.
I mean,
Because
you don't even need you don't even need Mega Boulder. You could just SS plus SB there, right? He's still dead in 2 hits. It's because they'll each do 105, and then that's 210. He's just dead if he decides to do it that way. But right here, he can actually he should be able. You know what? I'm not gonna. I'm pretty sure he can just flash him off if he does the BFT, you know, the BFTP through the what do you call it? Like the lower part of the tree.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
He'd have to deflight for that, and that, you know, that might not actually be worth it. And it is risky.
I mean, you're just using a lot of resources there. You got to deflight to jump over with your peg, use the BFTP, and then when you deflight, how are you gonna position yourself on DX to flash? Because the swarm aura is there. There's no land below DX, so it's pretty impossible. DX knows this.
True. Yeah, the swarm aura. If anyone finds a way, though, to increase to flash.
Right. Here we're gonna see, yeah, DX secure an early 2 swarm advantage, which is going to be definitely in his favor. So increase basically down a full swarm because he just swarmed. So, you know, DX just got his second one out, increase just got his first one out. So he's a full CD cycle down. And DX going to push with the BFTP through the ice shield to get the drone through probably. In future turns, get the swarm through, both swarms. And this is going to allow him to pressure.
Yeah.
The swarm, once again, off summon to get it killed. So now he's up 2 clean swarms. And also limits his map positioning there. So, very nice micro there by DX, just recognizing that he can BFTP the ice shield through. Or, I don't know, maybe that's more macro play. It didn't really require mechanics. But understanding that, okay, I'm going to get this drone through, kill his swarm off summon, and be up 2 of them. So,
There is the that Skyray is gonna come down and clear the tree. There's the potential line of just mudballing and getting the Skyray to clear the mud for you on your turn for a tempo, right?
yep.
Because it's gonna start on his turn.
I'm curious what increase chooses to do here. It's a difficult turn. Okay, chooses to trap one of the swarms.
Does his Pegasus get hit here?
I'm not sure. Okay, just goes for the double drone to deflight.
Yep. Now his flash should be up. He can actually he can move the totem up, tank the aura, and then SS the drone, and then flash him off. Right.
Right.
So he has a line here that's really good.
Yeah, it makes sense. He just has to do a lot, so you got to move.
Yes, you do, and he'd have to move starting. He'd have to see it right the turn before.
And he's not, so he's gonna go for a different line.
Probably just gonna retreat. He's got to be careful about that Arma.
Well, he already used his tree.
Oh yeah, he did already use this tree. Sorry, my bad.
Yeah, to swarm.
I see that now. Yeah.
So, how old is the Pegasus? Potentially a new Pegasus could be good, but
The Armageddon's gonna come down on DX's turn, and
yeah,
I can't tell if it's gonna deflight increase.
yeah, okay, seemed pretty,
It's very close.
seemed pretty much an obvious move there to get a Pegasus out, keep him trapped on the bottom. So, yeah, that was pretty much like the only move that he had, unless, I mean, I guess Prot, but Prot's not that great because that Pegasus is pretty low HP. So yeah, he's gonna come down here and pressure. Yeah, curious how he chooses to take advantage. Okay, drops onto his swarm. BFTP.
Yeah, Mega Boulder is.
and
Oh,
then and then what does he cook?
is he just gonna lock it in? Mega Boulder actually sinks here and kills his minions. If he wanted to try that.
It'd be a difficult lob, I think, to try for something like that. So, looks like he's gonna go for a more defensive or slower option.
Yep.
Not really defensive, but just not applying as much immediate pressure. Oh shit! He just walked right out of that. That's not something that I thought in the moment.
Now Flash is available to him.
Interesting.
I'm wondering if he just. That's something that even crosses his mind. Because he's had multiple chances here to flash off. Okay, he doesn't look like he's going for it.
I mean, he'll be thinking it for sure.
He's got to move his totem out. Unless if he wants that totem to die.
Yeah, the problem is that DX is so far ahead.
Well,
that-
I mean, without
Right.
gate, you could lose the game in one turn if he chooses to gate in the wrong spot.
That's very true. Yeah. Very true. So,
Ooh, wow. That was
Okay.
awesome.
he could have
Now he
moved
didn't
his
need the
totem.
totem.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
could have moved his totem to keep the ability to free, because the aura ticks on his turn. But nice to get the
He's actually
Pegasus killed.
he can actually flash him off again. I don't know if he wants to go for that. But
I mean, he's definitely thinking about it. I mean, it is increase after all.
yeah, because he's in a spot now where it's like, yeah, I mean, it might not be bad to go for plays like that. If you want it. Okay.
Yeah, that aura's active, and so there's not really much mobility that he can do here. And he's got a 2-swarm lead, so he's going to be looking to be, yeah, more defensive and just continue to stall.
Damn, he's going right back into his hole.
Yeah, he doesn't have Peg up, of course, so he has to consider other defensive moves. Okay, he does see the Arma, so he's going to hide. And, yeah.
Yep, it does clear the red one. On his turn, it should clear the land above the Pegasus, but it was a good flash for sure.
And a new totem out, which is solid. A little bit sad because he had a totem up if, it didn't die. But we'll see how this, what kind of line DX cooks up here. Okay, once
Yes.
again, border hopping.
Uh-huh. He loves doing it.
Yeah, and I'll say too, this is a subtle thing that I don't think a lot of even top players go for. And so just because it's like, oh, they're always scared about, well, what if he comes over and mega boulders me? Or what if he comes over and, this happens? Or maybe I end up in a bad position. But the thing is, DX has thought ahead, and he knows, and he looks at the, terrain at the top, the ice shields and all that. Oh, unfortunately the Pegasus dies, so he wasn't really watching the Arma.
Yeah, I thought it might, maybe he's taking a little bit of a risk, but I mean, yeah, we've seen it almost every game. Somebody will miss the Arma hit, because it's just a lot to keep track of for sure.
The AoE is not necessarily that intuitive, so it's pretty large, I guess, is how you would describe it.
Yes.
Okay, interesting. I thought maybe he would have wanted to, pause for a bit, maybe get like a shock shield up, continue to stall. He's got moves that he can use to continue to be defensive before he pushes. And it looks like he had that same line of thinking. But yeah, difficult spot for him to be in. Just kind of has to wait.
He might have honestly just laddered himself up there to prove to himself that he can do it in a certain amount of time, If he thought that, maybe that option comes up here in a couple turns, he just wants to see how much time it would take out of his turn.
That's interesting. I haven't thought of that. So, yeah, good idea to just kind of test the waters. Oh, is this possible? Okay, in 10 turns, maybe I can do it.
There we go. Classic.
All right, there's the DK. And DX is able to get it out first. And the problem is, without a swarm up, with a live aura, or a peg up, increase can't really prevent a DK hop. The ice shield is helping him out on the, above him.
Yep,
But
he's also getting a little bit lucky to hear that the Armageddons that end up clearing the land are the ones that are happening on his turn, so he's not actually losing any tempo. He can choose to engage on the land being cleared, or he can re-trap the land. Like, he has the choice.
Yep. So the Ray is going to be doing work to clear the terrain and pressuring his Dark Knight to get over to the left. But, Increase's line of thinking is likely, I need to get my own Swarms, Pegasus, and DK out so that I can kind of, gain some sort of sense of balance in this game and say, okay, I can also threaten to jump my DK over. You know, it's not a one-sided threat. But he doesn't have the development at this point. But it's in his mind, probably. Okay, DX healing himself up. And that tree is going to help to prevent the border hop, as I mentioned. Or DK border hop, rather, just to be more specific. And we're honestly just going to see... We almost don't need to commentate the next at least 5 turns. Like, we know it's just going to be cycling of, okay, Swarm is going to come out, Peg's going to come out, maybe Increase gets DK, maybe he doesn't, I'm not sure.
Kind of like the idea of having the DK. I mean, we saw Increase laddered the DK against pros to win, and it was he was very quick with it. So having the pressure, but
Yeah.
the only thing is you want to avoid a charge, you want to avoid the Armageddon. So I mean, it's a lot easier said than done.
Yeah, and of course he's going to get a Swarm out. It would be nice at some point for the Arma to kind of hone in on one of the trapped swarms that DX has. As I say that, neither of them are trapped. So forget what I just said.
Yeah, that was he border hopped a couple turns ago to free the swarm.
Yeah, I didn't notice that left ice shield. I thought that swarm on the left side of the map was trapped, but no, it is not. There's no clear sort of line to win at this point in the game. So Increase is definitely improved on his opener and kind of negating the DK threat. And we're going to see an Undead Peg come out from DX. Also a clear win condition in high times.
As we've seen, so far, a lot of the times what happens is somebody gets that center control and they just build up undead pegs, they build up minions so that, and they get that DK with mobility, like with ease of access from the map, and they just wait for the Armageddon to find an opportunity to either attack them over the top or pelt the person down in their position to where they're forced to leave. And it's just, I mean, it's a great strategy because it's 0 risk to DX.
Mm-hmm.
He can just sit there and, I mean, he's at no threat of dying, so he can do whatever he wants and just wait for the Arma. Or he can create his own winning opportunity too if he wants to. Looks like he's yep, very methodical.
Oh, he's going for the border bounce with the DK. Interesting. That doesn't really do a ton. He has to take multiple turns to get it to Increase. But, you know, it'll get there if Increase isn't careful. Yeah, he has to border hop twice to clear the land. Somewhat unfortunate. Okay, chooses to tree there. I was also thinking about Aura, but if you Aura the Swarm, you have to think about your positioning and the fact that actually it's going to work against DX because it's going to be active. And
he's getting
yeah.
active here. He's probably just going to set up another ice shield, yeah.
Yeah. So that was a nice move by DX to tree instead of Aura, because an active Aura actually helps increase stall. This is a tricky turn too, because, you know, pretty clearly if he shock shields the swarm, it'll be absorbed and he'll die. And then we just go home. So he doesn't want to do that. He is going for the ice shield play, which seems like the more obvious one. But still a bit precarious. Yeah, he's got to get out of there for sure.
He failed that BFTP.
Oh no,
he's gonna have to gate.
Yeah.
Yep.
Had to panic a bit there after the BFDP.
That's always the... I find it a lot easier to BFTP out of the bottom of the ice shield. I don't know why. I don't really fail that often, but when I do those 45-degree ones, I fail it kind of like that a decent amount of the time.
Yeah, I think it's... Personally, maybe I'm just, you know... yeah, some people are pointing out in the chat skill issue. But, Yeah, I'd be curious if there's a strategy where, you know, you can guarantee those Ice Shield BFTPs. Looks like we have some 1Kers in the chat also pointing out that it's never fail the Ice Shield as well.
Oh, well, you know. I guess it's just me. Oh, this
No.
was extremely risky. He's got to be fast here. That's not good enough. He's going to have to tower. Oh,
no!
no!
Oh
That
god!
Increase can oh, no, that was tough.
Increase can do everything, but I'm curious
got
what he chooses to do.
Yeah, he's got the complete
Yeah.
world here.
Oh my gosh, like I would be overflowed with options, but honestly, you just need to go from the moment. Okay, Increase is having a great approach here. He's just not even thinking. He's going for it, pushing him. Okay, he's cooking up a ladder here. It looks like potentially going for a flash angle on his totem. I'm not exactly sure what he's cooking up, but I guess his flight is down because he had the gate out of that, unfortunately. So, okay, very nice laddering there by Increase.
Very, very nice. Very clean.
Yeah. And
Oh,
okay,
didn't feel
another
that one.
BFTP. Another BFTP, very interesting as well. I wonder why he BFTP'd if he wanted to flash off.
There we
Oh,
go.
he's going for the shock bomb.
He's gonna hit himself here for a little
And
bit
he
of
might
damage.
border hop. He might border hop. Oh god.
Oh no. That
Oh,
would have
phew.
been nasty if he border hopped too.
Yeah.
Now, granted, I would have just lobbed it, but there's a chance well, there's a chance to miss, but there's also the chance that you get it on his left side and he doesn't sink, which is just basically as bad as a miss. So increase the if he was sandbagging Mega Boulder, which I'm doubtful he was, but if he was, this is just game here. But potentially, but I don't think he was. I don't think he's got Mega Boulder.
No, and this is also all of a sudden becomes a tricky turn because
Q is right. If he has Ice Bomb, I'm just kidding.
yeah, for sure. If he has color spray and he uses an aimbot, then yes, this is over.
If he puts the overlay on, no.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Is he just gonna DK? Just
Yeah.
DK him?
Tricky turn. I mean, it looks like he's cooking up a trap, so that's the obvious solution, but he has to make sure that he's, you know, unable to escape. If,
Looks like it's just a DK, yeah.
Because DX has BFTP and Leap, so you have to be absolutely certain that he can't get out. Of course, he has a couple of moves here. It's not completely lost, but I'm curious what his line of thinking is going to be here.
I wondered if can DX do
tick that
218 to him though.
No, okay, yeah, he's going to BFTP and then just
gonna tower probably.
Tower, yeah, that's the only move, which DX is going to know. So,
but he can always charge his other DK, his DK, right? So.
Oh yeah, he's going for a ladder play. That'd be disgusting, if possible. But no time though. 20 seconds? Nah. But he's gonna try to maximize the movement that he can get out of each turn. So yeah, doesn't have time. Does have the tower option if it fits. It should fit.
Yeah, it does fit. Yep.
And
yeah, clock tower is very thin.
Yep. Now it becomes a bit of a difficult turn for Increase once again, where it's like, okay, if you want to threaten a kill, and you also want to prevent, DX from killing you, then you really have to.
Is this Ice Shield number 3 here, or number 4?
You have to be careful here. Ice Shield, let's see. He used 1, 2, 3, maybe? I think I tracked his BFTPs right. He's got 1 left, I believe. But,
he's trying to Ice Shield so he can jump back up, maybe?
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure what he's cooking. I'd be very nervous for Increase because he's got no gate at this point. Okay, he goes for the flash, which is a nice play.
Wow. I didn't think you could do that, if I'm being honest with you. I thought it was like too fat.
Yeah, I got excited, but I didn't want to reveal. But I thought that he probably was seeing it because he's, very good at the spell at Flash.
Yeah, Slim makes a good point. If he's ice shielding, he probably. I mean, I think ice shield's the better play, and he just does it guaranteed. But yeah,
Right.
DX has got the choice here. I mean, does he? I mean, Increase is in a phenomenal spot here. The Drain does sink, but
I'm not sure he'll go for that.
he can also fail it too.
Yeah, the angle is a little bit hard, but he does go for
Ooh.
it.
You don't see it. He almost clipped that piece of land there.
Yeah. I thought it was harder than it was, but he actually is able to just do a direct drain. But I thought maybe it wasn't possible because the DK's in the way. But the axe is a little deceptive because it goes outside, beyond the character. What do you call that? Avatar or whatever. So. Okay, Increase gonna teleport in, and he had his gate down, so that's tragic.
He could die to Mega here. Now, well, that's assuming. I don't know if DX has actually taken his same book, but I feel like he'd be leaving the tower. I think the DX leap might still be down. Did he leap? I think he leapt 4 turns ago.
He leapt over that tree there a few turns ago. Yeah.
Yeah.
I believe it's still on cooldown. So.
Thinking he would have already left his tower if he was planning on doing that. So.
Yeah, he still has some options. The Increase's swarm is trapped. He's got
Might just go for a
DX
tree.
has more map control. He is fairly safe in that tower.
Yeah, he is. There are some instances where you can DK charge and deal damage through towers. I've done that before, but I think you have to I don't know the exact situation. Oh, can he? Does he get kicked by the swarm here though? If he tries to do that, I think that was what DX is hoping for.
No, that didn't work. But I mean,
Yeah.
he did kill the drone, so that's a fine play. And yeah, we'll see what DX chooses to do here. Okay, BFTP to bring his second swarm through. Nicely done. And yeah, okay, nice micro there. Bringing the swarm all the way up top.
Clinical.
And then just has to worry about time if he wants to execute any micro here. Okay, he is going to go to ladder up. And looks like this might just be game here. He just has to be efficient and not blunder the jumps. Looks like he's able to get it off. And that'll be GG. 2-0.
Yep.
Well played by DX.
Well played, well played. That's great speed from DX there. He had a lot to do there.
Yeah, one thing that DX was able to do is he thinks through those turns early. He recognizes it early.
Yep.
Some players that aren't as experienced, they recognize the move, but 30 seconds in, and then you don't have time to pressure. So, yeah. Well played on both fronts, really. I think it was a good series, and definitely
it was great.
had fun.
It was a great series. I like the it was very action packed. Let's see if they're willing to come in for some interviews.
Yeah. We'll just wait a couple minutes and see, but looks like Increase may not be available. I don't know if we're not really in a position to wait. If we had like another series, maybe we could, but
yeah, that's a lot of time. Let's see.
Yeah. But if DX wants to come in, okay, we just got to stall for a few minutes, which is fine.
Yeah, I mean, making those plays like DX made is not easy, especially when you're under pressure, you're under the gun, you have time, and if
Right.
you make a mistake, you're just losing the game. So like that's his experience really showing there to be able to execute under pressure like that is, I mean, it is a skill in of itself.
Yeah, and I think it's really interesting how even at the highest level, you see that like he's able to push really early. So just kind of unique in the way that, just because he is able to master the minion play and the micro so strong, that he gets that sort of pretty overwhelming advantage very quick.
Yeah, I completely agree. Now one of the things that in my experience playing against DX and people of that caliber is you don't typically want to play into their game. Like that's what I feel like anyway. You really want to
Mhm.
take them out of their preparation, take them out of their comfort zone, and like increase choosing to stay kind of on one side of the map and let DX find his way in. That's tough. I definitely looking back on it, there are a couple opportunities he had to really get aggressive, um, but that's just how it goes. Yeah, I'm sure Increase has a bunch of things he feel like he could have done differently, and same with DX. So I'm
Yeah,
interested to hear their thoughts if we can get them both in, or if we're just getting DX in. That's maybe you could live stream the interview if Ink is needs to go.
yeah. I think it's just a matter of us coming up with uh, content, and yeah, if Ink does need to leave soon.
I'm good. I have like another 4 hours. As long as the game wouldn't like go on forever, it's fine.
Yeah.
But that even then, both players wouldn't be able to continue. I believe Increase said. Anyways, we're gonna bring at least DX on for the interview. If it's a longer interview, we can bring in Increase and get his questions.
Yeah, true. Cool, makes sense. Yeah, I'm curious to hear DX's thoughts as I say that. DX, thanks for coming on for an interview. You just clutched out a 2-0 series against Increase. How are you feeling, man?
I feel okay. I feel alright.
Yeah, what was your approach going into this matchup? Did you do any sort of preparation or looking at like Increase's book, maybe ideas about changing up your book, or what was that approach like?
No, honestly, this book I'm using. So when I play 60G actively, which I haven't for like a year, I go through a lot of iterations before I have like a book that I really like.
Right.
And I only have 2 books like that as of right now. So and this is one of them. And the other one uses like Gargoyle, but I don't know if Bones is as good on Sky Castles. So yeah, I know this book works. And if it works on 60G for me, I trust in the book, and then if I lose, it's not due to the book. And
Yeah.
yeah, I feel very comfy playing it too.
Is there any switch that you would make with the book on like another map, or do you feel like it works well on?
No,
And
sure.
I thought it was funny. So
Yeah, no, it was good, man. It was good outfit. Yeah, do you think Increase maybe was a little bit nervous? He's not really used to the spotlight, and I know he doesn't really like when people spec his games and stuff because normally he plays very confidently. In my
yeah,
experience with him,
I don't know. He did very well against Praz, right?
yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think obviously, I play the early game very methodically, and so I try not to have too much chaos in there or anything. And so, and if he's like a very controlled player too, methodical player too, then the game just goes to mid game,
Right.
and it becomes a match of map control, minion control, and the small details matter. Um, and if you want to play me in a game like that, then you need to do all the little things right. Otherwise, if I see a little opening out like that crazy DK attempt I made on
Right.
game two, like I'm gonna go for them every time. And sometimes I won't get it off, but usually I will.
Yeah.
And even if I don't get them off, like when I went for that DK play on game two, I knew I wasn't lost, even
Yeah.
if
Yeah.
it failed. And that's the key, making those plays. You want to go for crazy plays that even if it doesn't work out, you're still okay. Um, yeah.
Yeah. So you
Oh,
want to prioritize the swarms in the early game, and you were up like 2 swarms and an undead pig at one point. So then when you get sunk, like you could teleport anywhere
Well,
on the map.
it's really a pressure thing, right? So if you know that there's no like you have a safety net in case the play fails, you're okay,
Yep.
then you may execute that play with much less pressure. And you need to have very little pressure, otherwise you might fail the play anyways. So it's a mental thing.
Yeah, it makes sense. We were also talking a little bit about your approach to bring Dark Knight out early, just as a method of, applying that pressure, like you were saying. Is that something that you try to do in every game, or just on this setting and high times in general?
No, you should only bring it out when when it can exert pressure. So if you don't have a good summon area, or like you summon it and it's going to be trapped, or it's not going to do much for you, then there's no point. But I think every turn you need to think about what's the most pressure move you can make, and if that's Dark Knight, you do Dark Knight.
welcome, Increase.
Hey,
How are you
what's up?
feeling?
I just want to check, like, can you hear me all right? Because I'm on.
Yeah, I can hear
Yeah.
you fine.
Yep, we can hear you.
How you feeling, man?
Oh, feel good, yeah. I felt like some of those games, the only thing I'm really disappointed about isn't just the loss, but I just wish the games went a little longer, because I felt like a couple of the games were lost just to simple blunders, like one of the trees, like during the first game, if I locked his Dark Knight a little better, it might have gone on and been more interesting. But other than that, feel great.
Yeah,
You
I
played
mean, like
really well.
that's the thing, man. DX is one of the best, so if you make blunders, you know, you might be able to get away with that on some other players, and you may not get punished for them. But he's definitely
Yeah.
someone. If you make a blunder, he's gonna take it all the way to the end. So yeah, like I definitely thought, do you think that you probably could have played a little bit more aggressive? Did you have Mega Boulder in that first game? Because we didn't see it come
No,
out.
no Mega
Okay,
Boulder.
you just had Mud Ball. Okay.
There's definitely, like, in a lot of these games, there's this theme where you usually have 1 or 2 turns throughout the game where like, the map becomes connected. You need to take advantage of that, or you just lose the game slowly. So there may have been opportunities for me to attack. I'd have to review the replay though.
Yeah, no, I mean, I do think that you played for the most part, especially I think you played game 2 a lot better than game 1, but for the most part, I think you played okay. It's really hard, man, when each mistake potentially spells the end of the game, but there's a lot of pressure to make the right moves.
Well, he did, like, the first game he did a great job of locking me down after I used SS, so a lot of players will try to go aggro or attack constantly, but he knew to disengage, use tree, use mud, peg, so that was really well played. The second game, I realized I made a pretty bad blunder. Turn 2, actually. I think I'm too used to grassy, so I should have used Prot on the top border instead of the side. Um, that way he couldn't tree me in. So that would have probably made the game a lot closer, in my opinion. Just that simple move.
Yeah, for sure. Still a valiant effort to get to where you got in this tournament, especially as someone who's newer to the tournament scene and to the
Yeah.
game, right? How long have you been playing Arc 2 to this point?
Well, I started, I want to say a few months before Steam release, but I also took
Okay.
a couple of like several month breaks. So if you look at my total playing time, it's probably around 2 years, maybe a little more now. Yeah.
Yeah, how do you feel at this point about considering future High Times tournaments? Is that something that you might be interested in, or?
Yeah, for sure. I'd participate. It's fun. Brings back a lot of people who have quit. Like I know that No Ret guy came back, so that was cool to see.
Oh yeah, he's someone who almost exclusively actually plays tournaments, so always likes to come back to compete. Yeah, DX, I'm curious, as you're leading into the finals now, you're going to be facing Nevitz. What are your thoughts on that matchup?
So, I mean, if he's really on his game, he is a very good SS player when he's like on his game. But at the same time, I feel like I know how to play against SS very well. So I think it'll be a good match.
Yeah, for sure. Looking forward to it, and yeah, I believe we'll be able to get that on stream as well. So
Yeah, really well played to both of you guys, man.
yeah, for sure. Great game, and thanks both for coming on for the interview. Any last thoughts, Increase or DX? Alrighty, well, thanks for coming on, and yeah, have a great rest of your day. Increase, great job fighting to the end in the semis, and DX, good luck in the finals.
Yep. Congrats to both of you. Good luck, DX. We'll all be watching. And yeah, Increase, good luck. I think you still have third place open, right? So you still have to fight Beldums. You still can get a medal here.
Yep, gotta fight
that's
for that
cool.
medal.
Okay. Gotta fight for the bronze trophy.
Yeah.
Hey man,
I
that's
can
better than
flex
no
on
trophy.
people.
Hell
Yeah.
yeah.
No, that's cool. All right, see ya, GG's.
Yep,
Yep.
GG.
GG's, man.
Anyways, that was DX and Increase coming on for an interview, ladies and gentlemen. And with that being wrapped up, I would like to give a quick shout out to today's commentators, Coevil and Oa. While Oa does not have specifically social media of the Twitch or YouTube or streaming variety, Coevil does. He's been actually broadcasting some of the matches of this tournament on his YouTube channel. So definitely give him a sub. And you can check out some of the matches that we weren't able to broadcast quite on Arc Tourneys, but Coevil actually did manage to get a few of them, most notably the other semifinals
Increase
match.
Pros. Yeah, Increase Pros and then Machine DX.
And Beldum's Nev, Beldum's Nev,
Yep.
I believe too, right? So yeah, definitely give him a sub. And if you'd like to follow myself, the host of the broadcast for today, you can follow me at either of those Twitch or YouTube links. Although I'm not particularly streaming too much Arc nowadays. Maybe that will change sooner rather than later, but we'll see. Anyways, yeah. We will be having the grand final set between DX and Nev. They've yet to schedule it. I think you guys could probably expect it this weekend. I would be kind of surprised if not. But if you are not in the Discord already to keep up with the tournament scheduling, what's going on with the tournament, definitely get in the Discord, join it. It's where we run everything through of the tournaments. We run everything tournament related through the Discord. So, yeah. On that note, I believe that wraps everything up, or that covers everything. So yeah, we are looking forward to the DX Nev finals match soon, very soon.
I haven't I've only been doing the tournaments for a little while. I know that they played against each other in the 10 random spells tournament. It feels like that's a matchup that we probably have seen a lot.
Yes.
Maybe.
Yes, Nev himself claims that, I believe. But I believe it was actually like before, like a little bit before your time, maybe, I want to say, at least for tournaments. I can go back and check, actually, because there's definitely been a lot. There's definitely been a lot. So
Listen, I don't want DX to think I'm rooting against him, because I'm not. I just love rooting for the underdog, and I would love to see Nev start a tournament win streak here. It'd be nice. He gives me hope as someone who also has 30 second places that I too can maybe win a tournament. But it's
Yeah.
you know, you could really just pick either one, and you're not gonna be. No one's gonna look at you weird. Both two titans of the game.
Yeah, also wanted to point out, for anyone new out there who's maybe clanless, join VWhip.
Oh, join V.
okay.
It's a led by me and Ink, and I was in school, you know, I still am, but off for the summer, but I wasn't really recruiting for it. So, yeah, on that mission.
You guys have amazing cosmetics. I will
Yeah.
you know, co-sign that.
Yeah, gangster style and cosmetics, and yeah, chill vibes. So that's all.
I'm trying to look back at this, and I don't think. I think they played season 15. Maybe season 15. I believe they played. Let me double
That
check
was so long ago.
That was
was
a
that
long time
setting?
ago. Yeah, season 15 they played. Nev knocked DX out in lower bracket.
Oh,
that
shit.
was a
Yeah.
60 swamp. That was the one that Falco swung. We actually put money up for that one
yeah.
too.
Ooh, I played 60 Swamp, I believe. It's kind of rushed. That's the Storm Armageddon?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
actually put money up for that tournament at that time.
Oh, is that the 1v inspired?
No,
tournament?
no.
Or no?
I put
Oh,
money up for that one.
Ah.
Yeah, that one was Falco's Nev finals where Falcos managed to sweep, but Nev did knock out DX. So it was that was, I think, at least one time they've met, at least in 60s. I don't know if they've met in other times. I think in I can go through this. There's quite a few of these, right? Because these two have been around for so long, they're kind of almost pillars of the game.
Yeah, I'm sure they played against each other when they were kids too. Like just back in Arcanists 1.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And I'm
Yeah,
excited, man. This is Nev is, you know, I know DX knows better because I haven't seen Nev play. He's kind of, you know, not played as frequently in past years or so. But I know him as being able to play anything. Like, he really can play anything. He could do any kind of book, and a lot of times he comes out of the gate with some really weird strategies. So I always get interested to see what he plays because he'll throw just he does random stuff sometimes, and it just ends up working. So we'll see if he wants to do that or does just stick to his generic book that he's been playing recently.
Yeah, it'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I think that's the only time I can see that's like 60s at least that they've played each other. Surprisingly enough, which is surprising because I feel like they have definitely played much more. But anyways, that's at least the one time I can bring up. I could probably go through it and get back to y'all with the stats on their matchup, at least for 60s. Of course, Tenar Like Oa said, DX did win that tournament, and he beat Nev in the finals. So, at least that one was much more recent, so I guess Nev will be looking to get some revenge for that. And on the other hand, we also got Beldums or Serial versus Increase for the third place match. So we are actually at least going to have a new trophy getter in
Oh, true.
the third
Yeah.
place
I didn't
trophy.
even think about that. Yeah.
Because neither of them, well, Increase has played in like one tournament in the main event, and that's it. Beldums has not. I think this is actually Beldums' like first main tournament, because he just doesn't
Yes.
participate in tournaments very much. He did participate in the season 20 qualifiers, but didn't make it in, so that was the only other time I believe he's played. Anyways, on that note, I will be wrapping up here. Very interesting to see that finals match happen. Most likely will be this weekend. But until then, we'll be signing off. So enjoy the rest of your day, everyone.
Yep.
Yeah, thanks
see ya.
everyone.